Yeah, we have got some good people back, right? Okay, so let's go to our course shell and find out our slides for this week. And you will find them very, very interesting. These slides that we are going to discuss. We are starting the DOM programming, and you will see that DOM programming is so very interesting that it will be the first time that you will start that your HTML will start talking to JavaScript and JavaScript will start talking to HTML and so on and so forth. And you would see that how interestingly we can just do a lot of interesting things. So I'm just right now opening up the PowerPoint slide or the slides of our week available on our course shell. And that is of course there. And rest of the things, I will share this link and everything with you guys. Don't worry. So I'm going into my week 4. This one is, and if I open up the week 4 over here, look at that. So we have to start DOM. And alongside this one, I'll start my own presentation as well, because you will find that presentation is because there are some explanations that you will find very interesting, and I'll show you that. So DOM programming, we are starting DOM programming. I've started recording as well, so we are all back, hopefully. And as I said, those who are here, they will definitely find it interesting, and when they'll do their in class as well, they will just find it helpful. So DOM, document object model. What is document object model? DOM or document object model is a tree-like structure representing the HTML document. It's not DOM. DOM is actually something that treats our document as a tree-like structure. Whenever we load a document in our browser, web browser, that web browser takes or understands this document, that document as a tree. It enables programmatic access to HTML and CSS elements, and core parts are nodes, elements, and text. We have something called nodes, we have something called elements, we have something called nodes. So I'll show you, just give me a second. Today I'm having some issues with the permissions. I don't know what's going on. Let's see that. Some permission issues are going on. So DOM, so we'll just move on. So key browser components, I'll tell you that what is the DOM actually. So when we work in our, in our web browser, look at that. There is a big giant object that is called window. Now, all the rest of the functions that we use, they come from the window. Do you guys know that we have got a function called alert? You guys have seen that. Hello. If I just do alert, you see that we get an alert. You remember we have that prompt as well. I can write prompt over here as well. I can write here prompt. And I say, what is your name? Whatever. Right? So prompt is there. So, but these all functions, they are actually inside a big giant object that is called window. So if I write window.alert and I check it, whether it is equal to just alert, you see it says yes. Are you guys getting that one? Actually, these objects are the part of the big object, which is called window object, and everything lies in between. So remember, if I say window.prompt equal prompt, is this equal to prompt? It says yes. Are you guys getting that one? So window is the real object that has all the things inside that. Even, you remember we have talked about console. If I write console, you remember we have talked about console. So if I write something like this, console equals window.console. Is this equal to windows.console? You see that true. Can I have a thumbs up from everyone? Do you guys understand that one? We can just, have that. Actually, window is the main object. Now, this window actually consists of an object that is called document. And first of all, it is equal to, if I just write document or write window.document, it's same. So let's write document only. Document is what? Document is something very interesting. Look at that. Document is something, whatever is loaded on the browser, this document actually gives us access to that particular. So this is the tree that it creates. And it gives me access to every part of this document. How come? Let me show you something interesting. If I write document.title, look at that. Do I have this title of new tab here? Right? And I can do a little hack here. I say document.title is equal to Navanati, for example, my name. Hit enter. You guys look at the top of my screen. The title of this document is changed. Have I hacked Google? No. It's the browser memory where the tree is loaded, and I'm just going into that tree and I'm trying to make some changes into that one. You guys make sense of it? I can even do document dot head. Just tell me the head. It says, okay, here is the head of the document. I say document dot body. Just give me the body of the document. It just gives me the body of the document. You guys getting that one? Now, I'll show you in my PowerPoint as well. This will make much more sense. So look at that. So from HTML DOM, let's make HTML, CSS, JavaScript talk to each other. Up until now, we have learned them separately. We have learned HTML, JavaScript, and we have learned separately the JavaScript and HTML separately. Now, what we want to do, we want to just talk them separately. Talk them. How can they communicate with each other? DOM is an API, just for the information, and API is application programming interface. Website talking to website. This is called application programming interface. Now come back over here. Document object model, DOM. What is DOM? It allows us to treat HTML document as a tree with upside down root. By using this tree, we can do a lot of wonderful things with HTML and CSS and JavaScript. So basically, it gives us the access of these things as a tree. And we have, let's see a DOM tree. Now, can you guys, all of you, I'll just share this with you. Can you guys copy this code and make an HTML page for yourself? I'm pasting that over here. The HTML page is there. Can you guys take that, and I'll open up my this one in Visual Studio Code, and I'll open up my folder, and not in index. Maybe I'll just I'll just create maybe one more page, and for one more page I'll create a folder, and I might call it pages. And in pages I'm creating a page, and I might call it maybe dom.html, right? dom.html, and I paste that one here, the code that I shared with you guys. Have you guys done that one? When you are done, just give me a thumbs up that yes, you have done. Copy this and create a new page, dom.html. We'll be working in this dom.html now. I'm waiting for the thumbs up from some people that you have done that. Okay. Oh, sorry. We have Karsh here. Karsh, was your problem was solved? The problem that you had? Karsh is there or not? I don't see Karsh. Yeah, Karsh is there. Karsh, your problem was solved or not? Najrul, you have done that. Wonderful. Okay, wonderful. So now, Karsh, have you done this part? I need one more yes from you if you've done this part. Like we are ready with that one. Now, let's run this document, dom.html. Look at that. And I just close the rest of the windows. I go to the inspector. When I write document, it gives me the whole document like this. And look at that. It has HTML, it has head, it has body, and it has some code being injected by the live server. Don't worry about that. Okay, wonderful. So see here. So we have got this, all the document. Now, also, as I told you, this tree gives me the access to the, for example, title. This is the document. And I can change this title to, for example, we are talking about Kirsch, by the way. So let's change it to Kirsch, and you see that the title changes to the Kirsch. Does this document have some links? Let's check that one. Links. Yes, it has one link. You see HTML collection, it has one link. Does this document have any images? No, it does not have any images. Are you guys getting that one? Can I access its head? Document.head. Yes, it has a head of. Can I access its body? I'll say body. Yes, it has a body. Can you understand that one? So by using document, so tree, what is the tree? I'll show you. What is the tree? Actually, when I load this one, browser looks at my document like this. HTML is the root element, which has two childs, head and body. Head has two childs, title and meta. Body has three childs, H1, P, and UL. P has another child of A, and UL has another three childs of LI. Are you guys getting that one? This is the DOM tree. This is the DOM tree. And all these solid square shape, shaded values, they are called nodes. They are called nodes in the HTML, like in the DOM. And you know that there are different types of nodes over there. Look at that. Some useful information. The DOM tree consists of DOM nodes, which represent various parts of document, including elements, attributes, and comments. They will represent all of these three things. While we often use nodes and elements interchangeably, since all elements are nodes within the tree, there are other node types as well, such as text nodes, which hold the text, or attribute nodes. Now look at that. If we take out one part of it, paragraph, do you see something in our paragraph? What is that? In paragraph, there is an anchor inside that one. Do you guys make sense of it? Look at that. I'll show you that together. So if I show you that as a PowerPoint together. If I close this one. Look at that. Do you see that paragraph has a text node? First of all, this is a paragraph with then it has an anchor, a tag, and then in it, the text. Do you guys make sense of it? And anchor has a text node, which is called link. Can I have a thumbs up from everyone? So this is called node and this is called text node. Node is represented as a sharp edged square shaded, and this, like, the text node is represented as a rounded circle or like rectangle or something, rounded corners. May I know you guys understand that one? And as I said, be ready to write that in our in class 2 as well, to be ready for that one. So this is called text node. Now let's move forward. Let's move forward. And now let's move forward. So text node. So nodes and their type, HTML nodes, and there are text nodes. There are two types of, all HTML elements are called HTML nodes. Yes, rounded corner are different. Whenever this will be diagrammatically represented, you see that there's a rounded corner. Karsh, do you see that? And they are sharp corners. So if it is rounded corner and not shaded, it's transparent. It is called text node in diagram. It has nothing to do with the coding, but diagram shape. In the diagram shape, it will always represent the text node. Guys, do you see that rounded corner? Do you understand rounded corner, what I'm talking about? You see the difference between this sharp edge and this rounded corner. Yes, so they are diagrammatically, they are called. Now, when we want to do the programming in DOM, we have these things. First of all, finding and getting references to the elements. Now, I'm running a document right now. This document is running. If I clean that, I would like to say that there are some general ways of reaching to particular areas of document. There are some general ways. General ways means I can say document head. Make sense? I get the head. I say document dot body. I get the body of the document. I say document dot title. I get just the title of the document. Make sense, everyone? But do you think that if I want to reach to a particular value, maybe a particular value over here, for example, this or this first item or anywhere, I'll have to, first of all, there are multiple ways. First of all, I'll come and I'll give my H1 as an ID. And I'll give an ID of first, for example. Make sense? And I give an ID of this first item as ID is equal to item 1. Are you guys getting that one? Why not if I give all of them ID? So I can give them ID. And you remember you used to give them ID while you are giving styles as well. In the same way, when you are working with a script, you usually give them IDs. So I've given 3 IDs, 4 IDs over here. Now make sense, everyone? Now, if you look at that, I'll show you something interesting. If I come here and I write, so one method to reach to a particular ID is by using a method called in the document. Its method is called get element by ID. So I write first. We have got first ID. Look at that. Gosh, do you understand? It is just bringing up me the H1 element, because I have just said an element with an ID first, bring me that. Do you see that it brings up the H1 for me? Can I have a response from everyone? Because this is very important. I want you to understand. An element with the ID first is accessed over here. An element with the ID, for example, item 1. I know there is an ID with item 1. If I hit enter, you guys see that I get my item 1 over here. If I access item 2, you see that I've got my LI item 2. Now, interestingly, in HTML, in JavaScript, we can do something interesting. I can say heading is equal to something. I can define any variable name. And I can say document dot get element by ID and first. Just look at that. Now in heading, I have stored my H1. Are you guys getting that one? This is so cool. I can reach to an element if it is given an ID. I can always reach to that element. Now I'll do another interesting thing because I would like to just so we can access something with the ID, or what are the other methods? There is another method. Other method is called query selector. It's called query selector. And we pass a selector to this one. And selector can be a normal element. So I can say H1, just like that. Are you guys getting that one? If I just write query selector, I can write a tag. I can write P and it just brings up the P to me, the first P to me. If I write document.title, so not title, query selector, and I say, for example, I need an li. So it will just bring the first li, whatever first li it will find. Are you guys getting query selector? Query selector accepts either the tag name, or query selector can also accept the ID. But remember, we have an ID of item 1. But since it is a generic method, in query selector, you will pass hash with that one. Are you guys getting that one? Now you see that it brings up that one with the ID. Hash with ID. Remember in CSS, you used to do that, Kalyan? Then when you had the CSS, you used to that hash with the ID. Make sense, everyone? So selector can be a tag sign, like a tag name. Selector can be an ID, but ID has to be followed by hash item. And selector can be a class, but can someone tell me how can I access the class? How did you access the class in the CSS styling when you were working with the CSS? Sania, do you remember that? Anyone remembers that? How did you access the class? How did you define the class? Dot. Wonderful. Shang, look at that. Dot. And for example, demo. It says null. There is no element with the class demo. Shang, does that make sense? And now if I just come here and for no reason, if I give, for example, class of demo to this paragraph, and class can be given to multiple elements. So let's give this class to this one as well. Now let's come back here and let me just again do that. Look at that. It gives me the first value of that demo. Now there is another method called selector all, query selector all. If I write that one, look at that. It will bring all the nodes which have .demo class attached to them. Are you guys getting that one? I do really hope that you guys understand that. And I'm writing this over here in the REPL because, I would first write in the REPL and then I'll take. So I'll copy and paste that as a comment in your HTML page, right? So that, if you are reading that later on, you know that what is going on. So I'm just pasting that as a note over here, right? So that you remember the code. So query selector, there are three methods. Get element by ID, you'll have just provide ID. Query selector, you provide a selector. A selector can be tag name, a selector can be ID, or a selector can be a class selector. So when we are programming the DOM, the first thing is that we need to get reference to the element. Is that good with everyone? Do you guys understand that one? Now, what is the second part? I'll talk about that first of all, and then I'll show you the theory as well. What is the second part? We can create new elements as well over here. So for example, I say let div is equal to document dot create element, and I want to create a div here. You guys see that? I've got a div here. Shan, do you understand that one? I've created a new div in JavaScript. In the same way as I can create I can create text element as well. So I can say dev txt, for example, div txt equal to document dot create text node. Remember, I told you that there are some text node. This is some random text. Look at that. Now I have div text as well. Do you want me to combine both of them? I will take the div and I'll say append child. Append child what? Div text. Now look at the div now. Can I have a thumbs up from everyone? I created a node, then I created a text node, then I appended the text node to the main node, and that becomes the text of that node. Wonderful, Najrul, I can see that. Wonderful. Now, last step or another step, I will say document.body. Go to the body and append a child to the body. What child? The div, the newly created div. Look at that. If I do that, hit enter. Do you guys see something on the top of the screen? This is some random text. New div has been added to our body of the document. Did you guys understand that one? Can I have again a response from? Because what I've done, I created a new div. I created a div text. I embedded the div text into div. And then I embedded the div, the newly created div inside the body. Wonderful, Chan. I can see your thumbs up. Now, again, I'll paste this for you so that in the notes it is always there. Select that one. Let's do that. Oh, okay. It's not selecting that. I don't know why. I want to select all things, but it does not select that. Let me just see that. Why it's not doing that. It's not giving the outputs. Anyhow, no problem. I'll just take that and I'll paste that over here. Look at that. Are you guys getting that one? Div text. You create a div text or you create something and you just, do that one. So here comes the concept. I'll first of all copy some images into my images folder. Let's come back here. And all of you are required to do that. So I'll create another folder over here and I'll call that folder images. Images. And what I'll do, I'll just copy for myself. I'll just copy few pictures. You also required to copy few pictures for yourself. What I'll do is that I'll copy that from my previous documents and it will be good for me. So bring some pictures, randomly some pictures over here, right? Look at that. I brought 3 pictures over here. I cut and paste over them, right? So bring some pictures and I would like to bring those pictures on my page as well. Let's bring them. So after this li, rather before li, let's put that before li. I put img src is equal to dot/. You see that it's not there because I'm inside pages. Dot/. Yes, images is there. Image1.jpg. I'll give some text tree and I'll give width as well. Width is equal to 300. Makes sense? I've got one picture. I'll bring one more picture. Image src dot// images / image2.jpg. Alt is equal to, let's say, tree2. And I'll give width as well. And also I'm giving ID to these pictures as well. ID is equal to pic1 and ID is equal to pic2. Are you guys getting that one? Have you guys done that one? Pictures and brought the pictures because I would like to show you something very cool. So now let's come back over here and run it. I've got 2 pictures as well over here. So first of all, if I just show you that I've got already 2 pictures, I want to create one more picture, for example. So I would say let img is equal to document.create element. Do you guys understand what is create element? It will create an element of img. Look at that. img. I've got the image tag.
Thank you, bro.
Sorry, Amjad, you are saying something?
No, that was an accident. Sorry.
Okay, no problem, no problem. So yes, so I can what I can do, I can say img.src is equal to, look at that. I can convert the source here. I say dot dot forward slash images slash image 3.jpg, for example. Look at that. Now my image has a source as well. Chen, are you understanding that? This is very cool. I have created a new picture. Now I go to the body, document.body, and I append the child. And I say append what? IMG that I have created. Ironically, I've just created with the IMG name. I can name it anything. Look at that. Did you guys see that? I've got another picture over here. And even I can just give the width here as well. I can change its width. I can say IMG dot width is equal to 300. Let's do that. Look at that. You see that the picture width is also changed. Are you guys getting that one? I've created new picture and embedded that one. So I can create another picture. So I can say pic2, for example, is equal to document dot create element. And I say img. Yes, 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 yes. So, we are doing that with the DOM. Amjad, you were here before. When we started DOM discussion, we are doing that all with the JavaScript. I created another pic and I say pic2.src is equal to dot dot forward slash images forward slash image1.jpg, for example. Right? I create that. And now look at the pic2. Pic2 is now ready. And now I can say document.body dot append child. And append child what? Pic2. Look at that. And it's coming out very big. I don't want it to be so big, but look at that. It's coming out so big. But I can change the width as well, because I have my in the browser memory. It's still there. I can just come here and I can do something. Pic2 dot width is equal to 300. Look at that. Amjad, do you see that? I have created a new picture by JavaScript and just added it over here. Even so much so, I can do some other interesting things as well. You know that I can access, let li is equal to document dot query selector. Remember query selector? And I access item 1. And I say li dot, there is a property called inner text. Inner text is equal. First of all, let's check. What is the inner text itself? First item. Do you see that on the top of my screen? And if I do something interesting, I say should be equal to hooray. I can change it. Look at that. Chan, do you see that? I have changed the inner text of my first item. Isn't that interesting, incredible? That we have started to, now my JavaScript has started to talk with that one. And it's doing quite interestingly, interestingly well, it is just doing that. That my JavaScript is talking to that one. So this is the third thing, that whenever we just get reference to something, for example, this li does have a lot of other properties that I can play with. Make sense? I can even associate an ID to this one. And it already has an ID. Look at that. It has an item 1 ID. And I know that. Can I change that? I say li.id is equal to, for example, I say something. I just change that ID. And now if you want to see that whether it is changed or not, look at that. Rather, I can see it over here. Look at that. Now my li has an ID of something, not item 1. But this is all again in the browser memory. If I refresh that, everything will go away. Look at that. Now everything is gone back to the original position. Make sense, everyone? It is just in the browser memory. So it is the browser memory that is working over here. So the third thing that we can do always is that we can actually create a lot of new elements and we can change their properties. So I can say, for example, let div is equal to document.create element. And I want to create a div. I create a div. So let's say what is inside div. Div is created, but there is nothing inside div. Let's create and heading 2, or I just call it X. X is equal to document dot create element and H2. I want to create an H2. See that X is created, X is H2. Now, can I do something? I say div dot append child and put what X in, put X inside that, just the variable. Look at the div now. Now div has, see that div has an H2 inside that. Are you guys getting that one? And H2 I called that what? I called that X. So I say X dot inner text is equal to heading 2 inside div. Look at that. Now if I just see the div, look at that. I get the div and div has the heading 2 inside the div. Are you guys getting that one? Now can I go to the body and I ask body to just embed that. I say document dot body dot append child and I say div, append the div that I have created. Look at that. Did you guys see that one? Did you guys understand what is going on over here? So wonderful thing that now I can create new elements and I can add them, embed them into my page. Can I have a response from everyone? Everybody? Chan, wonderful. Pavel, thank you. Pavel, do you understand that one? This is very cool. I can create new element. I can play with that element. There are a few things that you need to keep in mind just. So for example, so I have created a div. So if I want to assign a class, if I want to assign an ID, I can assign that. I can say D1, for example. And look at that. Now div has an ID of D1. But the problem is if I want to assign a class to this one, I cannot say class is equal to. I will have to say class name is equal to. You know why? Because class is a reserved word in JavaScript. Even though I've written down class name, but do you see that what it comes out? Those who are looking at Kalyan, do you see that? Class name, I have to give it div.class name is equal to demo, assign it a demo class name, but the class name is turning out as a class because JavaScript does not like class keyword, but HTML will still recognize class keyword. Do you guys understand? Parampreet, do you understand that what I'm saying here? This is a very important fact here that when you assign something, JavaScript will say that you have to use the class name. So look at that. If I say div dot class name, what is the class name associated with it? It's a demo. But if I say div dot class, look at that. I don't get anything. Are you guys getting that one? So what is class name in JavaScript? In JavaScript, I will always use class name, and I can change something. Look at that. Now the class is dashed is something. Are you guys getting that one? Is that making sense? Now I'll tell you another very interesting thing and we'll end that maybe, after that few discussions. For example, do you guys remember that you used to write styles like this in your HTML before in the head? Do you guys remember that one? Style. And you can define a class. For example, I define a red class, which will have a color of red and which will have a background color of, for example, any light color, beige color. I've defined a red class. Did you guys define a style like that before? You might have done that. So color should be blue. The class color should be blue. And background color can be anything like light blue or lightish something, Alice blue, right? I'm asking a question. Did you guys use the classes like this, like a style like this? You have defined that class in style. So what is the benefit of that? I'll tell you something very interesting. If I get access to my elements, now see that. If I get access to my element, for example, let heading is equal to, let's get the access to the first one element. So heading is what? This is my first welcome, where welcome is written. You know what I can do? I can say heading dot class name is equal to red. Look at that. I'm about to hit enter. Can I have a thumbs up from those who understood this one? This is so cool. I can do that with my li as well. Li is equal to document dot query selector and I say item, and again hash item one, not item one. Item one, if I do that, I hit enter and I say li dot class name equal to blue. Look at that. Look at that. What will happen? Did you guys see my first item? Its color is changed. You guys get it? So we can do a lots of wonderful and interesting things over here. If I refresh that, of course, it will all go away because we are not using a JavaScript file till now. We'll come up and we'll have a JavaScript file and then we'll just try to do that one. But do you guys understand this all till this point of time? Everyone understand that? Can I have a response from everyone, please? Respond to this. Wonderful, Chan. Karsh, do you understand that, Karsh? I hope I was not fast here. Karsh, I'm talking to you. Najirul, thank you. I can see. Okay, wonderful. So did you understand everything, Karsh, that we can? So again, it's all right now. We are doing all of this as temporary because we are doing that from here. But later on, we can just do that one. So for example, I say document.query selector. I access my first, and I can directly do something as well. So I can say, for example, dot class name equal to blue. For example, if I did that, look at that. I can directly assign it a blue class. And if I just store that into something, if I store, for example, if I say li2 is equal to document dot query selector, and I say hash item 2. Karsh, I've already told you. Were you here when I was telling you before? Look at that. If I get that one and I say li2 dot class name equal to red. Karsh, maybe you were not listening to me before. Cannot set property null. Oh, I accessed the wrong. It should be item 2. I was talking to them. So li2 dot class name equal to red. Look at that. My second element changes. Karsh, did you listen it when I was telling you? Can anyone help let me know? Amjad, did you understand when I did it first time? Because now what it is doing, it is just applying a class to that one. So actually, Karsh, I think you missed my point, and I don't know whether you were here or not. So if you look at that, we had these two classes, red and blue. And by using this CSS code, I'm assigning the class to something and it changes its color and everything. Make sense, everyone? That is wonderful. So I will just give you a little motivation here before you go, because, I would like you guys to just, understand that actually what we are doing after this one, and, I just want to make you motivated about that. I don't know how much of you will be motivated, but if you get motivated, you will definitely like that. So we are trying to reach somewhere that I would show you here. Just give me a second and I'll just show you that. Actually, we will ultimately do something like this later on. And that's what we are starting. Karsh, you see that? It's a very nice project that we will make in HTML and CSS and JavaScript. If I click on add, it says no field should be empty and it's doing something wrong, but I'll have to change that one. If I enter any book name, for example, I say JavaScript and I say 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, and I say author name, Alan Smith, whatever, and I say add book. Look at that. Book successfully added and we get this book added over here. Do you guys understand? I'm just giving you motivation that we have to actually do this one by using DOM. Do you guys see that? How interesting this looks like. And I can have these books being added over here. And not only that, I can remove the books. I can remove this book. I can remove this book. Book deleted successfully. So we'll have to make actually the book library. Is that a good motivation, Karsh? Because we have to actually do this one. We'll complete this project in class. Don't worry. And you will really like this project because you will work with that project. And after that, you will be able to work a lot of nice projects. Sanya, did you see the project? Do you find it cool? If I just click on that one, it says the no field should be empty. Something appears and then disappears as well. This looks interesting. If I enter proper thing, it adds the book and it gives me book successfully added. Najrul, does that look interesting? Actually, we have to do that ultimately. We'll try to make up with this type of project. I'll come up with this project and we'll create this type of project over there. Do you want me to just make this project, Najrul? This will be very interesting. But try to understand this one because right now we are just started. Actually, the next part that we are going to do is that in the programming DOM, if I just show you that we have created and modifying elements, create element, text node, and append child. Third is inspecting inner HTML, inner text. I'll talk about. There are lots of things. Yes, Karsh, it adds to that one. And then we have that the fourth one, which is most important. I'll talk about that in that for Friday's class before our before our in class, that this will be events. We'll talk about events, which is the most important one. Now, if I just show you my our pay like our sorry our that one. If you look at that, so we have talked about this one, and you can just read that. Note is a single point in the DOM tree, HTML text. Child node, a node directly inside other. Parent node, a node containing other nodes. Sibling node, nodes at the same level. Descendant node. Now, if you want to check those things as well, I can just show you over here. Look at that. If I get access to, let me just refresh that. Start with. So if I just get access to my li. So for example, I say document dot query selector and I say hash item 1. Look at that. I've got li. If I say li dot parent node, Karsh, yes, it adds to the HTML. I will tell you on Friday we'll do that. But do you understand, Karsh, here? Li dot parent node. Li dot, if I say next sibling, what is the next element sibling of this li? It says there is an li which is item 2. You guys getting that one? If I say li dot previous sibling, what was your previous sibling? It will tell me that there is no previous sibling. There might be text because this is the first in the sibling. Remember, in the UL, this is the first one, Karsh. Do you understand? If I say li dot next node, whatever, you see that next element sibling. This is next element sibling or next sibling. Another interesting thing. I can just say that li dot, as I said, parent node or parent element, which is the parent element. It says it's UI and whatever. There are lots of. Now, I would like to just make one more thing, last thing before we go. Li dot inner text. Have you used that inner text? Everyone remembers inner text? It gives the inner text, and I can change the inner text as well. Look at on the top. Hooray! I can change it. Look at that. I have changed the text. But there is another property called inner HTML. Do you know the difference between inner HTML and inner text? Someone can guess? If I just do that, it still do the same. Someone can guess has appeared, but there is a whole lot of new difference. Do you know what is the difference? Let me tell you. If I say li dot inner text and I write some HTML tags over here as well. So I write B for bold. This is bold text. And I end B with this one. I have applied inner text. Look at my output. Chang, do you understand what will happen? If I do that same with inner HTML rather than inner text, do you guys know? This bold will be rendered then. Look at that. How many of you guys understood the difference between inner text and inner HTML? Inner HTML means you can write some HTML and HTML will be rendered. Amjad, do you understand? HTML will be rendered. Yes, it's an expression type and it's basically the HTML is rendered over there in HTML. So for example, I can write B. Yes. I can write I for italicized, even though we don't use them, but let's do that. Italicized. I can write a BR over here. Look at that. I can write a BR over here. And if I hit enter, look at that. This is bold and there's a new line in the text. But if I do this same, as you are right, it's a string, that an expression. If I just come here and I write text over here, inner text, look at that. It all appears like this element over there. Karsh, do you understand that? I'm calling Karsh you again and again because I know that you are interested in learning that one. Wonderful. How about others? Najrul, did you find it interesting? And we'll do that. The most important part, we'll create a script file and we'll try to connect it to that one. So today's class will be very important for in class 2. And please, those who are not here, you should inform your friends because we have only 16 people in our first session and only 12 here, 11 people here. So this will be very important. And I'll ask mostly from this one in class 2. So be ready for that one. And you guys who have attended the class, hopefully you will enjoy that. So I hope you enjoyed today's content. Just I want you everyone to just write a parting note here, bye or something, or have a good day something, so that I know that okay, you were here. So you can write something like that as I've written down. So I'm stopping over here and I'll share all these things with you. You too, Kalyan, you have a good day. And everyone else have a good day. Rest of the day, thank you. And I'm stopping recording now.